5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
Put everything down and crank your speakers up.
It's time for
The Realest Podcast.
Oh yeah! We got us a new world champion!
And what is going on, guys? You're listening to the Realest Podcast, and welcome to the results of a really, really good show. I mean, there's just really no words to describe.
See, I got to stop you there. I'm gonna have to stop you there. There's only one word to describe this pay-per-view.
What's that?
It was glorious!
Oh, you're not even joking. Just, wow.
Wow. Well, indeed. I mean, I was surprised with the outcomes, but damn, did they put on a great wrestling show. And you know what? We said from the beginning that the tag team match was going to steal the show. Did they disappoint?
No.
Nope. They tore the house down. Kudos to both teams.
All three.
Seriously.
All three.
All three. Yeah.
All three.
Yeah, I'll give Akam and Rizar some credit.
Yeah, they had to go through a table.
Yeah, they did. They took.
Yeah, it just. I mean, I sat here and I thought, it could, potentially get beat. WrestleMania could beat it. There's no way. Like, I'm just sitting here. There's no way WrestleMania beats that. There just isn't.
Oh, man.
There's no way WrestleMania outdoes that.
I mean, they could try. I mean, I hope they do. I mean, here's to hoping.
I mean, I do. I hope they try too. If they don't try, that's bad. It's real bad if they don't try. But I mean, what'd you think, man? Let's hear it.
I mean, like I think Bobby Roode would put it, in the most simplistic terms. It was simply glorious. I mean,
every single match.
Every match was amazing. I mean, that new kid, man, he impressed me right off the bat, man. His entrance was amazing. His technique was amazing. I think he might have messed up once in that match. I think that was the only thing I saw. But I mean, other than that, man, I mean, it's spot on. I mean, everything was just amazing.
I think that match could have been the only one that could have been better. Like, it seemed like they could have given more into it. But man,
yeah, but for what it
match.
was, I mean, it was fine.
Just what a show from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, basically that match was all just to show what he could do.
Michael Andrews is here. He says, "I love Nigel McInnes." He said during a figure 4 leg lock, "Imagine your greatest pain times 10. You're almost close." I will say this: I'm not a fan of the Percy guy, but Percy did. Him and Nigel really do flow good together. Those two are pretty good. Because it just seemed like Corey Graves and the Percy Watson just didn't really gel well. They didn't have the chemistry.
No.
But him and Nigel are doing really well. It was such a good night. That crowd was electric. There's no words to describe how amazing this was tonight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was surprised with a lot of the matches. I mean, how the outcome was. Like a lot of things that we predicted. I think we got 2 of them right. No, 3 of them right. Yeah, we got 3 right because we called the tag team match with Sanity. We called the championship match with Bobby Roode, and we called the match with Andrade Cien.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Asuka dominant as ever. I mean, like I said, man, I don't know what it is. I mean, I guess it's my fault. I mean, every single I go up against Asuka and I lose, man.
I'm telling you, Andrew, what happens is WWE Creative listens to this show, right? And they listen to see, okay, is he going to go against Asuka? He went against Asuka. Yo, Ember, you're losing tonight.
Yeah,
but
sorry.
You said I was going to win for like 3 months. What happened? This guy on this podcast, man.
Yeah.
You're not winning.
Yeah, he jinxed it, man. He used that word potential, man. Potentially.
The only reason why the curse didn't happen yesterday was because Kyle said it. Anytime me or
Yeah,
Andrew
I always
says
said
it jinxes it 100%.
Yeah, it doesn't count for part-timers.
No, or people that just want to show up whenever they want. Michael Andrews says put Corey Graves and Mauro Ranallo on Raw, put Nigel and Tom on SmackDown, fire everyone else. So
Fire everyone else.
Mauro won't get on Raw because the guy, he's going through depression. He won't even be there tomorrow. So I saw Mauro say that something about JR. He said congratulations to JR or something.
I mean, I'll be happy to have JR back. I mean, but still,
I think he might call the SmackDown matches.
I hope so. But you know, like the only thing that concerns me there is what the chemistry will be like.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, JR is gonna be perfect at his role. I mean, he's always been good at it. But I wonder how he's gonna gel with some of the other guys like Tom Phillips or JBL. I mean, I don't even know if Tom Phillips is gonna, you know, be on the announced team. Like, if he is, he's gonna just sit there unless they let him take a role. I mean, he's kind of been filling in for Mario Ronaldo, but if they get JR to replace him, he'll just be like, "Yeah, I'm Tom Phillips.
I'm just here, enjoying my ringside seat."
Dude, he must love his job. I mean, like before Mario Ronaldo went out, I mean, he got paid to literally watch wrestling. He didn't have to do anything up until like the previews or anything like that. He just sat there, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get back to the review. We're getting out of here. We're getting out of hand here.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, the tag team match was match of the night. That was outstanding. From
Oh my God.
of them, DIY and the
Yeah.
Revival. You know, I am surprised that DIY was first eliminated. There was a lot of moments where I thought AOP was getting eliminated. There was a lot of moments where I did think that.
Oh yeah.
But,
Where they banded together, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, we better see the Revival either to Monday, or we better see them Monday or Tuesday. 100% we need to see them.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I want to give those guys a lot of credit. I mean, for what they put us through. I mean, that was such a thorough ride. I mean, you talk about WrestleMania slogan being the ultimate thorough ride. That match was the ultimate thorough ride. And you know, it doesn't surprise me that it's match of the night. We called it because it's been consistent over the last few weeks, ever since the Revival won the championships back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, it hasn't changed. Every single time we come in after Takeover and we say these words, that was match of the night. And not only that, but we always refer to that one match. I mean, yeah, that could be match of the weekend, but we always refer back to those tag team matches with those individuals. You know, that if you're bringing somebody new into the show and introducing the wrestling for the first time and you really want to see what wrestling's about and why it's something that people like, that's the match you show them.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so electric and filled with passion and emotion. I mean, they didn't just wrestle out there. And see, that's the thing that they miss nowadays. They were telling a story. Telling a story is just as important as wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
If not more important sometimes.
Absolutely. Michael Andrews says, I screamed in shock at least 2 times per match. Yeah, it was absolutely incredible. The only negative thing I will say about anybody or anything will be Ruby Riott. She looked real green. She didn't look like she was fully prepared. It kind of seemed like it was kind of overwhelming for her.
Well, they did throw her in there last.
Yeah,
I mean, with all due
that's
respect.
my only complaint. Also, seeing Cassius Ohno, I thought, especially with him being kind of like that special guest kind of person there, I kind of wish I would have seen more out of him than what we got. But that was still a good match. It was still a really good match. That's probably really my only complaint of the night.
Yeah. I was surprised that they took out No Way Jose.
Well,
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
The way they're pushing Cassius Ohno, it only makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. It just now you kind of wonder like what's going to happen next. Now that Sanity is sort of dispatched of the rebels known as Ty Dillinger and his friends.
Teddy Long knows how to treat a tag team. 2+2 equals tag team match, or 1-on-1 with the Undertaker. But yeah,
That was the other thing I remembered about him that I loved at the Hall of Fame. Well, only thing that guy seemed to know is how to put somebody in a tag team match.
yeah. I will say out of the first match, that Roderick Strong looked the best. He did look the best out of everybody, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at the significance of that. Did you see who took the pin?
Was it Ty Dillinger?
It was Ty Dillinger. Again, taking the pin.
Well, like I said, I mean,
And this time to a Killian Dane.
but we
not
also,
to...
we spoke on Ty Dillinger. We also cannot forget that Drew McIntyre was there.
Oh, was he there?
That's who they showed. Remember? Everybody started freaking out.
Oh, yeah. I didn't recognize him. It's been so damn long.
Yeah, he still had like a baby face going on. But Drew McIntyre was there. So if Drew McIntyre is going to be their new signee, if that's the way they want to go, then, I'm just saying, Ty Dillinger's spot might be, for top person, might not be there. Depending on
that's a shame.
With what they do. Well, I'm lying. Because usually it takes a takeover or two for somebody new coming in to get that opportunity. Bobby Roode had to. Shinsuke had to. So.
But don't we always have to remember that Hideo Itami should be coming back soon?
Hideo Itami's
So, I mean,
he's already cleared. It's just, how long will he stay healthy?
Right. Well, I mean, that's another person you have to throw in the hat, assuming that he stays healthy.
I wouldn't, honestly, if he stayed healthy, I wouldn't put him there. I would just put him in storylines. He has to stay healthy for at least a year.
That's true. I mean, you want to make sure he knows how to stay healthy.
But, actually, the Ty Dillinger could still be that. Because if they have Ty Dillinger come in and take Bobby Roode out, you could have Drew McIntyre come in as a heel.
I mean, it's cool that they're bringing all these new people in, or at least it seems bringing all these new people in. But, for guys like me who actually know that Ty Dillinger deserves that opportunity to be that guy for a little bit, it really sucks, man. It's like...
Well, again,
Ty Dillinger, man, he's consistently the guy, and he just gets shit on by the company.
We've had this conversation over and over and over. When you have Bobby Roode and Shinsuke Nakamura, even though Ty Dillinger is as over as he is, you're going to have to put him to the side. At least he's being put into takeovers. He might be taking losses, but, if they do push him in the long run, it's going to be worth it. And let's also talk about those new belts. Great-looking belts. Every single one of them.
Oh, yeah. They all look different. I noticed that. I noticed that they kind of, revamped all the titles.
Oh, they all look amazing. And the women's title needed that because of what Paige did to that poor belt. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. After those surfaced, they were like, yep, we're going to change the title now.
Everyone
I'm just kidding.
Changed. No, but
just in case.
I was never a big fan of the NXT belt. In all honesty, I really like the new one. I really do.
One looks a lot better.
Yeah, it really does. 100% does. So, Alastair, I can never pronounce his name. Alastair Black. And
yeah, the new guy.
Andrade Almas or Cien Almas. Again, I thought that they could have went a little bit hard. They both could have attempted to try harder. It might also be harder to go hard whenever you're kind of, being put in the situation that you're put in, taking losses every takeover. Juan says Roman Reigns the guy. What's up, Juan? NXT was amazing. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I don't think that WrestleMania will be able to top that. I think.
And that's the problem, though. That's the problem, though, because NXT is consistently raise the stakes every single month that they're there. And so it's like the WWE shows, they look like they're stacked, and they have a chance to beat them. And even on their weakest card, NXT somehow shows up and puts them in their place. It's amazing with how well they run that show. And, a lot of that credit goes to Triple H, and we can't deny that. And the excellent writing staff of NXT and whoever's a part of NXT, guys like Michaels, who are behind the scenes in any capacity. But I understand the Undertaker is also behind the scenes at NXT, sort of as a mentor to some of the guys. So, I mean, you got a lot of really big names that are really helping out with NXT, and I think the direction that they are pulling in really makes me happy for the future. like when Vince finally decides to turn the company over to Stephanie and Triple H, and Triple H is allowed to implement more of his ideas freely, more so than he is now.
Michael Andrews says he's basically saying that it's a sin that I don't like the old NXT belt. It's not that I hated it. I wasn't a big fan. I mean, I can't stand the Universal title.
It was a little big, like with the X and all.
I just wasn't a big fan of it.
I mean, like I'm not a big fan of fat belts myself. Like the World Heavyweight Championship, I never liked it. I always liked the WWE Championship better because it was skinnier. It looked more compact.
Yeah. I mean, we've already talked about the tag team belt. What do you think of Ember Moon versus Asuka? I thought that was really good. We cannot.
I thought it was good, but I was surprised that it ended the way it did. I felt like the match was shorter than I expected it would be. And I don't know, man. Like I didn't think it was going to end when it ended.
Yeah, the question is now, is that a heel turn for Asuka? Because obviously what they're doing by having her push the ref into the rope, they're going to play off, Ember's going to play the story off of, I had you, on your heels. You were worried, you were scared. So what'd you do? You took the easy way out.
Right.
And Asuka's going to say, I beat you, blah, blah, blah. And basically, it's just going to feud until the next takeover.
Which I'm okay with, but I'm not upset with how it ended. I was just surprised. I was taken aback by it. I didn't think it would end that way.
Right. I did think that it was really good. I thought Ember Moon looked great. I thought Asuka looked great. It all around good match. If you guys follow me on Twitter at Realest Podcast, I did say that in a tweet. I did say, I said Ember Moon, but something's telling me Asuka. Like I'm feeling Asuka right now. Like I feel like Asuka will win this, and sure enough, Asuka won it.
It's because I said Asuka would lose.
That's absolutely right.
Every time. I'm like 0-11 right now.
I gotta say it. And then we also have Bobby Roode versus Shinsuke. Outstanding also. Great match. I love that they protected the Kinshasa. Love that they protected that move because nobody is kicked out of it. I mean, you can consider Bobby Roode kicking out of it, but you also have to remember he was technically, and I'm using finger quotations here, injured at the last takeover. So I still don't consider anybody kicking out of that move. And again, I really do appreciate them protecting that move. I really do.
Well, no, because even when he did kick out, it was like a 1 minute full long count before he finally got on him. So, I mean, you can make the argument that, if it was a 3 count, he would have been out,
Yeah. But what do you think? I like that the Glorious DDT, it took him 2 Glorious DDTs to beat him. Asuka's gimmick doesn't require her to be heel or face. She can be in between like Brock or Dean at SummerSlam. That's awesome. Yeah, that's what I was saying, or that both of us were saying during the prediction show. She really is just, there to fight.
Yeah. She's whatever she has to be.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, yeah. Great pay-per-view. Great pay-per-view. I mean, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? It's a terrible pay-per-view? I mean, I could even say, name one thing that was bad about it. And you've already said, like, the only thing that you could really kind of pick out about it was how you thought that match with Andrade Cien could have, went a little bit harder, They could have taken a little bit more risk in the match, try to make it a little bit more memorable. But even that, the match was good. The match was really good.
So Juan is.
I had no issues with it.
Juan asks us both: are we excited for WrestleMania 33? And
I'm excited.
Let's be real here. Let's be real.
I'm worried, but I'm excited, and I'll tell you why I'm worried if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
I've heard a lot of rumors about a lot of people that have been injured or are suffering behind the scenes injuries that I haven't talked about. Like Nikki Bella, I heard that she kind of re-injured her neck or possibly have re-injured her neck over the week or this past week. I've also heard that Seth Rollins is feeling a little bit of pain.
He apparently has pneumonia, and that match
and
is
has pneumonia.
Big jeopardy. It's in major jeopardy right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, if anyone has ever had it, my dad has had it several times. You just can't breathe.
I've had it.
I mean, it hurts to breathe. So, I mean, at this point, yes, it's WrestleMania. Yes, they want to be there. But honestly, if he can't do it because of his health, there's no shame in having him not be there.
Yeah.
Have Triple come out, really bash Seth Rollins. I told you you weren't going to be here. I knew you weren't healthy enough. In comes Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Hey,
Finn's gotta win, though.
Oh yeah, 100% if he comes out. But yeah, I mean, like you have guys like Finn Balor that could be there. It can really be good. Am I excited for it? I am. I think that it's going to be a good pay-per-view. Do I think it's going to be a glorious pay-per-view? I don't know, but I think they have the star power and the possibility to do so. It just depends on what storylines they run with. How do they intend to tell the story? And really, what's going to go on with those matches? Because, especially with The Miz and John Cena and Nikki and Maurice, if Nikki's real hurt, we're probably not going to see her in that match often, which means it's pretty much going to be more so one-on-one with The Miz and John Cena. Same thing with Seth Rollins. If Seth Rollins can't do it because of his health,
Right.
I mean, it's going to take away some of the value to it. I mean, unless, of course, they're replacing him with somebody just as good.
Right. And all, for my answer, for anybody that says they're not excited for WrestleMania and they're hardcore wrestling fans, they're lying. Like, I mean, it's basically the Super Bowl. For people that are saying that they're not going to watch it, they're not excited. Like, there's that little bit of excitement. I have said, many times, I don't know about this year. This year's not looking that good. And you know what? They delivered in their promos. They've told the story. I'm really interested. Like I said before, the only thing I am not interested in is the Universal title. I'm not interested in that at all. And here's another thing. You know that WrestleMania, they are still deciding on what's going to main event. Rumor has it now that Taker and Roman are going to main event. So that would mean Roman has main evented the last 3 WrestleManias.
If they're going to do that, he better turn heel. That's all I'm going to say. He better turn heel if he's going to main event WrestleMania. I honestly, here, I'm a traditionalist. I've said this for several pay-per-views. I've always believed that whoever wins the Royal Rumble should main event it. Mm-hmm. Without question. So, I mean, I think they should give that to Bray and Randy. I think that they earn that right to do it. And you know what? I don't care what anyone says. They've told an excellent story, the two of them. And Randy Orton has made Bray Wyatt so much of a better character in these last few months. I have been getting back into Bray because of what they've been doing.
They don't believe that it's important enough is the reason. And
Which is a shame because that title actually does mean something. AJ Styles made that title mean something. John Cena having that title meant something. Bray Wyatt winning that title meant something.
Another thing is they also don't feel that with Lesnar and Goldberg potentially being so short that should main event. Which I agree that shouldn't main event, but I do think for WrestleMania that a title should main event. I hated that Rock and Cena main evented. And, I mean, in my eyes, that wasn't even that great of a match.
No, I mean, the Rock's good in everything he does, but I mean, you just get so salty over the fact there isn't somebody else in that position like CM Punk who it should have been. So, I mean, that all plays into it. I mean, of course, if it's not the person you think is going to main event, it's going to be a little bit off to you, even if it's not a bad match, which it wasn't. Rock and Cena weren't a bad match. It wasn't both times. They both were entertaining. It's just it was kind of predictable.
That second time was predictable. I mean, it really was. I
mean, you knew Cena was going to win it. I mean, obviously. I mean, he was down 0-1 to Rock, and the title was on the line, and Rock wasn't going to stay around. So,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've hit everything there is. It's still amazing. I mean, I will say that this year's this year's TakeOver was 10 times better than last year's.
Oh, yeah.
What I mean by last year's, I mean by 10 times better than last year's, WrestleMania
takeover show, yeah.
I would not be surprised if we see Shinsuke Nakamura on Raw or SmackDown Monday or Tuesday. I would not be surprised by that at all. Again, I think that he should just be on any show that AJ's on. Whatever show AJ's on is what he needs to be on. I could see the Revival being on Monday or Tuesday. I would kind of put them on Monday because I think the club is just, again, they're not doing it. They're not. I don't think they're doing good as a top heel. And I think Sheamus and Cesaro they're at a point now where they kind of need to separate.
Right, before it's too late.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, that's just me.
Well, I mean, they just killed them. They didn't give them the respect that they deserved when they came in. I mean, they did the same thing to AJ Styles, so let's not forget that. Mm-hmm. When AJ Styles first came in, he's the main event. He's not main event. He's going to be our mid-carder. He's going to be the that puts other guys over. Oh, let's put him up against Roman. Let's have him lose against Roman. He'll put Roman over.
Right.
And then, of course, Vince, being the guy, sees it. He's like, oh, wow, AJ Styles is actually a main event talent. Maybe we should put him in a main event setting. It's kind of funny to think about it. Like, I mean, I didn't have any experience about AJ Styles or know too much about AJ Styles. I was introduced to AJ Styles when he came into WWE, basically. That was my first time really seeing him in action. And honestly, like, I look at it from my perspective. How the heck did you think that guy was a mid-card talent? Shame on you. Seriously.
I look at him like, why did you not sign him years ago?
Yeah, I mean, like, you could say the same thing about Samoa Joe. Why did it take so long for Joe? Why would it take so long for that?
He didn't have the look. He's not 6'5", clean cut, 6-pack,
Yeah.
He's not Andrew says, after listening to What Culture, I think there should be a Sister Abigail angle with Bray, Luke, and Alexa Bliss.
Oh, that's an interesting story because I keep hearing rumors about how returning women are gonna be Sister Abigail. Like, I've heard that they've thought about bringing back Victoria, which I think is absolutely outstanding. If you've ever seen the woman compete, she is one of the best to ever lace up the boots. I mean, I put her up there in the league with Trish Stratus. She's on that same pedestal in my opinion. Great storyteller, great wrestler. But I mean, I heard that they were thinking about having her as Sister Abigail. And I thought that would have been good. But honestly, with the angle that they're rocking right now, where Sister Abigail has been infused by Bray Wyatt, I don't think we're going to see a Sister Abigail. I think they've officially scrapped that idea. I think they're going to scrap the idea of the Wyatt family as a whole. I don't think we're going to see another family. I think it's just going to be Bray Wyatt out on his own.
Honest and truthful, they shouldn't. And the reason I say that is because this is the second time they've broken the Wyatt family up. There's no point in getting the same group back together.
Right, or even a new one. I mean, like, the only other people I could ever see with Bray Wyatt now would be, like, his brother, Bo Dallas, if they reinvented.
I do know that Bray wants Bo to be a part of the Wyatt family.
I mean, like, it doesn't even have to be the Wyatt family. I mean, they could just form a team together, like a tag team somewhere down the road. I mean, like, it's just something that you really have to look forward to. And honestly, if Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt decide to form an alliance, they're going to be a really good team. They really are. It's going to really help Bo Dallas's career out because right now he's struggling. I mean, they don't know what to do with him, which is a shame because he was really big on NXT.
I will also say this: Sanity will hold every single title in the in NXT at some point this year, 100%.
It definitely looks that way.
Bray saves his alcoholic brother can be the storyline. I mean, I'd be alcoholic too if I got pushed or, everything happened the way it did. Kyle actually might be in here because he just got on Skype, so he could join. See if he does. I'll call him and see if he does.
Oh my God! Did you guys see Takeover?
That's if he's even seen it.
Yeah. Man.
If he hasn't seen it, then no. But it really does seem like Sanity will, and that would also kind of put in
I'm okay with that.
Along the lines where Ty Dillinger could win the title. You turn around, Eric Young wins it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's my thing. How do you get away from the Sanity issue? Sanity takes completely over. I'm cool with that, right? I'm cool with them running rush shot. How do they remedy this?
No telling. I mean, just how they
I
do
mean, if
everything.
you have a whole new faction,
I mean, we're
you
looking
know.
at we're looking at years to come though. Like this is literally a year in the making. Because it would take
Yeah.
6 months for this to happen.
I mean,
Right away.
arguments.
Yeah. So I think that's like too soon to tell. But Kyle's also in here. Kyle, what'd you think of Takeover?
I thought it was a great show. I wasn't a big fan of just nobody losing their titles. I like to see at least one title change, but I mean,
I was
guess
upset
they
with
can
that. But, you know, when you really take a look at the storytelling and the wrestling that we had tonight, I'm okay with them not dropping titles. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
willing to look past it. You know, that's how good the wrestling show is. That you just don't give a crap if the title didn't pass.
Yeah.
You know.
And like I said, I just don't see the main roster topping this.
It's gonna be hard. They're really gonna have to step up their game. I mean, really step up their game if they're gonna want to, do that. And honestly, there's no tag team match that's gonna happen that's gonna ever anywhere come close to this.
I know
To what we
this-
see.
I know that this will never happen, but could you imagine? For me, it's like we don't deserve to be at WrestleMania. Boom, what did we just do? Like, why not put NXT in? Like, I know they need to keep doing what they're doing, but I'm just saying, why couldn't they make the kickoff show Takeover?
What do you mean, make the kickoff show Takeover?
The 2-hour kickoff show for WrestleMania be the NXT Takeover show.
I mean, that would definitely
That would be cool.
make
but again,
WrestleMania amazing, but
I mean, I wouldn't do it. Keep doing what they're doing. It's just me thinking and me just saying whatever, Just saying whatever, just to say it, just to cause controversy and to be called dumb or amazing. But, I mean, Kyle, what'd you think of the tag team match?
I thought tag team match to me was really like match of the night for me. It was amazing. I love those three teams. I mean, I said before, like Authors of Pain, I was a bit iffy seeing them in the picture because we already know what the Revival and DIY can do already. But I mean, Authors of Pain, I thought all three teams did awesome in the match personally.
Right. Is there anything you're wanting to get off your chest? Because we are kind of at the end. We've talked about everything possible. Michael said if Takeover was a pre-show, everyone would be depressed looking at the difference after Takeover. You're actually, I would say people.
Well, it's because
I would
it's night and day, though.
I would
When that's what it normally is. It's night and day.
Me personally, I would say that people would be disappointed in the fact that Takeover was kind of its own thing. It's where the hardcore fans went, and then looking at it and it's a kickoff stuff. Kickoff show basically for WrestleMania. It'd be like, oh. It also wouldn't get the exposure that it deserves, because people would be just filing into the stadium. Which, if you've ever been into a stadium, it takes 10 times longer to get your seat in a stadium than it does in an arena.
Right.
So, yeah, Kyle, is there anything you're really wanting to, say before we wrap this up?
There's not really like anything specific I want to say. Just like, you guys said, just the entire night was really amazing, and the main roster in WrestleMania is going to have a hard time living up to it. I don't care, the keywords, potential, and all that stuff. Putting that aside, I think WrestleMania's card. WrestleMania's card. It looks better than last year. That's the thing. It looks a big improvement than last year. And last year, Blake, you could say alone, you were at the show, and it was a huge disappointment for you. I think this year it's going to be a change, and I'm really hoping the main roster can top NXT. I don't know if it'll happen. It'll be, they got the work cut out for them.
It's just like I said. It depends on what happens and if the injury angle, the sickness angles are actually going to happen. Is Nikki not going to get too many bumps because of her neck, and the idea that her neck is probably gone. Is she going to be forced to retire because of that neck? That's another thing we have to think about. Because this is the same injury that Edge had. So she's living on borrowed time when it comes to her career. And the same thing with Seth Rollins. If he really does have, what they think he has, I wouldn't even risk starting him at WrestleMania unless he's 100% cleared of it, because, I could tell you, my dad's had it a few times, and you just can't breathe when you have that.
Well, I mean, if you guys want to, I can just give you guys the results of the Supercard from Ring of Honor, and then we can watch it and give our actual review.
Yeah, actually, I mean, I don't even know fully the entire card, so I mean, you can tell me like the matches. I mean, wait, actually, here's what you can do. If you want to do that, you can kind of like tell us the matches and like who's up against each other. We can kind of guess who we would have predicted to win, and then you tell us the results of it. It'd be like a pre and after show all in one.
Marty Scurll versus Adam Cole.
I don't even know who the fuck Marty is. Who the fuck is Marty?
I don't know either. I'm totally lost when it
Adam Cole. Who the fuck Marty Skull or Marty
Silas
Squirrel?
Young and the Beer City Bruiser versus the Kingdom.
Oh, the Kingdom had to win that one, please. The Kingdom's been great. I mean, I haven't watched him much lately, but the Kingdom before was awesome.
Bully Ray and the Briscoes versus the Bullet Club.
What the fuck? I'm missing so much. I'm gonna say Bullet Club.
Jay Lethal versus Cody Rhodes.
Jay Lethal.
The Motor City Machine Guns versus Cheeseburger and Will Ferrell and the Rebellion.
What the fuck? I'm gonna say the. I don't even fucking know. Wait, who was in the match again? Who was it again?
The
Motor City Machine Guns and who?
Versus Cheeseburger and Will Ferrell and the Rebellion.
So was it like a triple threat tag team match?
Yeah.
Or a handicap?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna say Motor City Machine Guns.
Okay. Punishment Martinez versus Frankie Kazarian.
Ooh. I know Punishment Martinez. He's interesting. Frankie Kazarian.
Bobby Fish versus Silas Young.
Bobby Fish. I love Bobby Fish.
Volador Jr. versus Will Ospreay. Or Volador Jr. and Will Ospreay versus Dragon Lee and Jay White.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of these guys. So
Yeah, a lot of these guys are different. A lot of them are either like more. Most of them are like from like the Mexican pro wrestler and even New Japan stuff like that.
I messed up. So
jeez.
the one with Adam Cole is for the television title.
Whoa! Adam Cole got moved down.
Because that
Wow.
was the almighty Christopher Daniels versus Dalton Castle for the ROH Championship.
Wow! So they really like they hit Adam Cole where it hurts.
Well, Adam Cole.
Who's in the world title picture?
Cole's at getting up to his contract.
That's why, but still, like,
And
damn.
rumor has it he's coming to WWE. The Young Bucks versus the Hardys.
Yeah, the Young Bucks
I
versus
hope
the
the
Hardys.
Hardys.
That's
I
what
hope
I
the
want to
Hardys.
see. I can't wait
So
to
do
see
I.
the Broken Hardys
Do you
first
guys
time.
want the results?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. But
You
I
can
mean,
give me
we're
the
gonna
results,
watch
Will.
it.
All right.
I'm gonna watch it too. So
So Marty beat Adam Cole. Silas Young.
Damn it, Marty.
And the Beer City
Well.
Bruiser defeated the Kingdom.
All right, I'm 0 for 2.
Bully Ray versus the Briscoes defeated the Bullet Club.
All right, 0 for 3.
Jay Lethal beat Cody Rhodes.
1 for 4.
The Motor City Machine Guns beat Cheeseburger. Beat the entire
Yeah,
tag
those
team,
guys.
the entire roster.
2 for 5.
Punishment Martinez beat Frankie Kazarian.
2 for 6.
Bobby Fish defeated Silas Young via disqualification.
3 for 7.
Will Ospreay and Volador Jr. defeated Dragon Lee and Jay White.
I was gonna say Dragon Lee and Jay White, so I'm like 3 for 8 or whatever. I lost count, but I just know I'm horrible.
Christopher Daniels retained his title against Dalton Castle.
I would have guessed that.
And the Young Bucks beat the Hardys.
Whoa! That means the Hardys.
Ooh.
Well, actually, I forgot about that because the Hardys contract was expiring.
that could mean that they're doing something.
Well,
Well,
Jeff has come out and said that he plans on working with ROH, or they both plan on working with ROH for the summer.
oh, okay. Well,
But then
I
again,
mean, they
you
just-
never know. You honestly
It's-
never know because those two right there, it's been so up in the air with what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean they could just be messing with your minds, thinking that they're not going to be coming, and next thing you know, they're
They are
showing
broken.
up tomorrow.
yeah, they are broken, dude. They could be anywhere.
Well, are they still carrying on with their broken routine, even though they're in our?
They're not
Nothing
being
issues.
called the Broken Hardys because ROH doesn't want them to have to go through the legal trouble. But I think character-wise, they're still rocking it.
Okay.
They're still doing their stuff, probably. I would assume.
I mean,
They
I don't
got-
know.
they got
The crowd
a-
is.
obviously, I don't know
Yeah.
because we didn't watch, but I know if you looked at it on paper, They were called the Hardy Boys. They weren't taught.
I know. Speaking of the Hardys, like I remember when Rizar and Akam were about to win the match against the Revival. All you hear is delete, 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 delete. They're waiting for Hardys to come in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was like the Hall of Fame when, like I said, when Kurt Angle was talking about the Hardys and the crowd just went nuts saying delete.
Yeah. But I do think that's going to do it for us. Next Thursday, or this coming up Thursday, we're going to be having we're going to be reviewing the ROH show. We're actually going to be talking about it instead of just giving you results. So if you're interested in that, we'll talk about that. Monday, obviously the big Monday Night Raw. SmackDown coming right after that on Tuesday. And then obviously tomorrow being WrestleMania, we'll be live at 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern for the prediction show. That is also 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 1 o'clock Mountain Time. So, again.
Oh, and remember about the pre-show for tomorrow too. Don't forget about that.
I just did.
Oh wow, I'm off.
I'm lost,
Don't worry.
dude.
So until next time, peace out.